Welcome to Back to School Night. Learning another language is to know another culture. How can your child succeed in the world language classroom? They need to bring all the materials to class, and they need to participate in classroom activities and do all the homework. They need to organize necessary information for assignments and home study. They need to take notes in class and study them. They should attend class regularly, and it helps if they can find a study partner. Take an active interest in what your child is learning. Make sure your child brings his or her textbook and binder home. Make sure you provide a quiet place to study. Help your child learn to manage his or her time wisely. Listen to your child practice speaking his or her new language. Call out vocabulary words in English for your child to recall in the target language. Help your child see the relevance of the new language in his or her daily life. Call or email the teacher. Tips to enhance your new language beyond the classroom. Listen to music in the target language. Listening to music is a great way to increase your vocabulary and listening skills. Watch films in the target language. Watch some television programs in the new language. Read newspapers in the target language. Some newspapers are available on the internet. Read books. Start with children's books. Practice your new language with your classmates. Teach your family the new language. Target language use. The use of the target language by a teacher in the world language classroom is one of the best ways to learn another language. Students must pay close attention to the teacher's actions and gestures in order to understand what is happening. Students are expected to speak Spanish in class. Students are given participation points for speaking Spanish and lose points for speaking without permission. Participation. 25% of the grade is participation. The students receive 3 points a day, and there are additional points awarded for answering questions. The students need to obey the following rules. Number 1, be engaged. That means sitting up straight, eyes open, paying attention, coming prepared, and participating. Rule number 2, they need to speak Spanish. Students can speak English if they raise their hands or if they have a question about Spanish class. Okay, when the rules are broken, the teacher will deduct 1 point with a verbal warning. Participation is as important in a Spanish class as it is in a PE class. The classroom rules are very simple. Number 1, follow directions quickly. That means getting to work right away. Number 2, raise your hand for permission to speak. Number 3, raise your hand for permission to leave your seat. 4, make smart choices. And 5, make sure the teacher is happy. Materials that students will need. Students will need dry erase markers for class. They also will need a section and a binder. The binder will be used for handouts, warm-ups, and homework. All of that's collected at the end of each chapter with stamps if it's completed. The markers are used with individual whiteboards. Homework rules. Homework must be on the corner of a student's desk before the bell. No late work will be accepted. We'll talk about phase 6 shortly. Chapter test. If they fail a chapter test, they can retake it for a maximum of B grade. The same goes for quizzes. Absent work. If students absent, they have until the following Friday to turn it in. Phase 6 is an online vocabulary practice program. Students are required to use it once a week. The program provides practice vocabulary that we learn and helps the vocabulary to become part of long-term memory. Students will be required to practice 100 words a week. Opportunities for internet use are available on campus for students without home access. Also, talk to your teacher. Initially, the password to get on is the first initial of their first name, the last initial plus their ID. First time they log in, they'll have to change that. The website where you can find it is http://pilot.phase-6.com. Always remember to use School Loop. Students can check their grades and their homework at pghs.schoolloop.com. I have additional practice activities on a Moodle website. A Moodle website is a website that allows students to interact and take practice quizzes and do other activities. They'll need to create an account to do that, and we'll try to do that within the classroom by going to the computer lab. This is an example of what the Spanish 1 Moodle website looks like. Also, the URL is right there at the top of the slide. This is an example of what the Spanish 2 website looks like. Moodle website, and the URL is at the top of the slide. Students need to leave their textbooks at home. We have class sets to use. Practice workbooks. There's a few options for practice workbooks. You can check them out of the library, and then they'll need to write out their answers. They can print them off of School Loop, have to download and print them out. Or they actually could look at the practice workbook online and then write out the answers. The same goes for Spanish 2. They should also leave their textbook at home. We have class sets. Their practice workbooks, they have the same three options as Spanish 1. They can check it out of the library, and they can write out the answers. They can print it off from School Loop so they can write on it. They can look at the file on School Loop and then write out the answer. Hall passes. Students are allowed 2 per quarter. If the privilege is abused, they will be lost. You also can get extra credit if you don't use your passes. Cheating. If it appears to the teacher that a student's cheating, the student will get a 0 and the parent will be contacted. We also occasionally do what's called a cultural participation research project. Points will be earned by doing the projects outside of the classroom. Grades are based on 50% are tests, quizzes, finals, and any projects. Another 25% are assignments and homework. And the last 25% is participation, warm-ups, other WAVA type activities. Grades are weighted and not based on total points. And also the overall grades are calculated using the standard percentages. Just remember, if you receive a D or an F, you will not advance to the next level of Spanish.